I think at this point in my career, I really want to work with somebody who will challenge me and kind of push me to the next level. And I don't know, I just really felt like after I had one little conversation with Alonzo where I reached out and then we did sort of a Zoom meeting, and instantly I just wanted to work with him even more. I feel like he's just such an important voice and figure in the dance world. And for me, I just love his movement style and love watching his dancers and lines. And so for me, it was a dream come true that he wanted to work with me too, and that this little project could become an actual ballet. It's really funny in the sense that he really was like, "Now, what do you want, Tyler?" Like he really wanted to make it what we created specific for me. And I remember one of the things that we talked about early on was I said, Alonzo, everybody always wants to make something really fast for me. And it would be really nice to have a beautiful like patata created for me where maybe there's some quick movements, but also it would just be really nice just to dance. And he was like, okay, we will make sure that's happening. And when we started out, it was like this beautiful potted, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then it was so funny, like quickly thereafter, it was like, and I think in the beginning there needs to be a quick section too. And I was like, okay. So I got the best of both worlds. And I think he got, to also work with this, the speed and kind of things that I'm used to doing too. So yeah, Alonzo was the one who brought Jason Moran in because they have such a wonderful relationship, a collaboration, relationship. And so when he said, and what about Jason doing the music? And I was like, that's incredible. As a principal dancer in New York City Ballet, you're able to take the men's class at School of American Ballet if you want as an option as a later class. And I remember taking men's class, and Roman was still in the school, and I remember thinking, wow, that kid is like really good, like he's amazing. And I remember like asking Gonzalo, who was in the class, like, who is that? And he was like, oh, that's Roman, he's really, really good. And then quickly thereafter, all of a sudden he was in the New York City Ballet. It's funny, we didn't really speak much. Like, I always introduced myself to the new apprentices, but I remember Damien Wetzel actually was asking me, hey, are there any new core dancers that I should look out for that you see in class to bring to the festival? And I said, well, there's an apprentice. He's not yet in the core, but he's really good. And I think maybe you should bring him. And that was Roman. And then he was like, okay, we're going to bring him in. Actually, you're going to do Tchaikovsky Patata with him. That was kind of the first thing I believe that we danced together was Chai Pa, which is crazy when you think of for him, like the first thing to do, really. And then since then, we've done Allegro Brilliant at the company together. And then I really love dancing with him. He's really a natural partner, meaning like we can kind of try things for the first time, and he just knows, like some partners know and some people don't know how to do it. It just doesn't come as easily. And with him, he's a very natural partner and so kind. And I just love being in the room with him. So especially working on a new process, you want that kind of person in the room, somebody that challenges you. Also, he has so much energy and life, and, there's so much talent there that it really is good motivation for me to like keep my game up. So it's a really nice, refreshing partnership, and something that I always look forward to being in the room with him. We have a really great time, and Alonzo was just the same. Alonzo and Roman had worked together before on Personal Element, a piece that Alonzo choreographed for the Villa Dance Festival. So yes. Alonzo actually said, and for your partner, who are you thinking? Like, what about like Roman Mejia? And I was like, that's so funny. I was going to suggest that. He was like, because he loved working with him. And that's how I find a lot of people that work with Roman. It's not just the talent, but he's just such a wonderful person that it makes the whole process just really enjoyable. to kind of sometimes doing things on my own because I know I can like count on it. And if something goes wrong, then I can blame myself. But in Alonzo's work, it's very much like, okay, I'm driving now he's driving, and you have to be, kind of like submissive. You have to, at a certain point, it's like, okay, you have to give in to the fact that he is now leading the way. And, that was like a little difficult for me, but I got better. And he was like, you trust him. And I was like, oh yeah, I trust him. And I don't really know why I should trust him. It was like, I trusted him from the very beginning, which is hysterical. I could like, do those jumps in tripod and know that he was going to catch me. I really feel safe and comfortable like dancing with him, and like I could kind of give him anything and he's got me. We started with a pas de deux, and I remember, oh my God, the first day Alonzo threw out so much material, and I was like, I turned to him and I go, I don't know if it's because we haven't been like in a room with a choreographer in a long time, but I feel like, and I'm really one to pick up pretty quickly, and I felt like I could not pick up anything. And I just kept saying, oh my gosh, like my brain is like, ah. And I asked Alonzo, I was like, you have to let me record this so we make sure we remember it for tomorrow. And then we went back, and honestly, we felt so sore. I mean, Roman and I definitely have had some moments because we were just like I would turn to him and be like, I literally have no idea what he just did. And thank God we had Maddie in the room. So like, I was really paying attention. And then when he was doing it, I would think, okay, I'm getting this. And then he would say, okay, now show me. And like, I could remember like 4 steps out of like the 45-second like phrase, and then we would just like always turn to Maddie, and he would be like, Maddie, and she would know it. And that was a joke between all of us because we were like, thank God Maddie is in this room because she has got our back. He gave us most of the information like the first day. Like we had so much of the pot of the information that I was like, okay, we were like studying it to make sure we knew it the next day. And it was such a fun time. We were there for like 7 days in San Francisco, I think. And it was a really special like creation process, I think. It is a conversation kind of the whole time you work with him, and he is asking, Tyler, what are you thinking right here? Like, what's your motive, or what are you doing? Or, Roman, do you feel her? Is she really pushing on you, or is she just kind of doing it? And I don't remember like one specific thing, I don't think, but I just remember him talking about like the human quality, like, and bringing that out in the dance. And that was something that I feel like I really hadn't really heard from a choreographer. He was really, really on about bringing that human emotion inside of the dance through. Like, I forget exactly word for word what he said, but it was something along the lines of like, I don't want to see the choreography. I want it to be like so in you that it's just kind of like, oh gosh, maybe you should ask him for what he said. Like, I'm sure he would remember. It was so poetic. I think he's so poetic in the way he speaks and describes steps to you. But he would say like, this is a rain, like a waterfall. And I just love all the images he uses. He sent us a quote for Swift Arrow, and it was so beautiful what he sent us. So it's like we still stay in contact. He's still like asking for more, and each time we do it, it'll just keep growing, hopefully. He's a wonderful human being. My parents, like, they could not get over how amazing he was as just a person, let alone like his talent. But he was so generous and loving even with them, and meeting them and making sure that they were okay at the Music Center shows. And they're like, why is he so concerned with us? It was so lovely though to see that, he just really cares. I think getting to meet the whole company was amazing, to get to share the stage with them. They were so welcoming to us and made us feel so at home. And again, we just joked we would be in like our little huddle, our circle, and they let us join in, and we kind of do a little moment, a quiet moment right before the show that they do. And Roman and I got to do it with them, and they took a picture, and we were joking that you could barely even see us because we were so small compared to them. They're all so amazingly tall. But it's nice to be sharing the stage with such talented dancers that are so different, you know, like Roman and I bring something completely different, I think, to Alonzo's choreography. And so to see his choreography done on his dancers, people that are working with him every single day, was just amazing. I mean, we sat after we finished our pas and the solo, we would go stand and watch all of the other pieces like over on the side, and we just were in awe of all of them. And yeah, it was really, really amazing to just be kind of welcomed in. That's all I could say. They were so welcoming. When you feel that sort of positive energy, you start healing a lot faster too. It's just, I really just think the mind and the body and the heart are so connected. And I think that dance is just kind of the connective tissue through all of that, I think. And so yeah, I do think it's healing. After the injury and after the pandemic, like I believe in that more than ever. It's like, why wait? Like time is so precious. And I think that if we've all learned anything over this year, it's that life is very precious and limited. And so you might as well put it out into the universe what you want to do and hopefully make it happen. And that's what I did. I was like, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to use this time to be creative and just going to reach out, and hopefully he wants to work together. And he wrote right back and was like, let's make it happen. Something so beautiful came out of a time that was really dark. And I think that meaning like we created this two beautiful works during a period in the time when it was really scary, and during a pandemic where there were so many unknowns. And I think if anything, it just goes to show that like we need to create new art, to keep us going, to keep, you know, life moving forward, to keep myself like energized and inspired. And how amazing will it be to look back on this time and to say, like, not only did we create such a work that I'm proud of, but also during a pandemic, like something that a time we'll never forget. And so I think that, yeah, that was the first thing. It was like we created something so beautiful during such a dark and scary time.